Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady, where Karen demands that paramedics turn off their emergency lights because they bother her. If you are new around here, don't forget to subscribe because I upload daily content. And now, without any further ado, let's dive right in. I'm not a paramedic though. This happened today while I was at work, and I decided to create an account to let you guys know about it. I am a cop and was mistaken for a paramedic. I have basic first aid and have a defibrillator in my cruiser, but that's it. Often, cops and paramedics get called to the same call, even if technically it's purely medical and there's nothing job specific for me to do that the paramedics cannot do. Often, I will hang out for a little while longer after it's been determined I'm not really needed, just in case the paramedics change their mind due to the patient getting violent or something. Of note, we have similar uniforms, but I have a red stripe down my pants, carry a gun, and have the word police in huge letters on my back and the front of my vest, while paramedics have paramedic written on them. If you are literate and know paramedics don't carry guns, you can tell the difference. Also, if a cop tells you that they are not a paramedic, that should be a strong hint too. Today, I was on scene when a kid started having some sort of medical emergency where he could not breathe properly. Paramedics show up, lights and sirens, and get him into the back of their ambulance. They left the lights on as they are blocking a lane. Once they get the kid in the ambulance, I'm standing outside waiting for them to head off. My cruiser was parked a couple meters from where I was standing as well. A lady comes up to us and goes, "You need to turn off those lights." And I reply with, "They are not my lights, they are paramedics and they are a little busy right now and probably saving a life." Lady replies with, "Those lights can cause a seizure. How dare you put people in danger like that? That's so irresponsible." Well, I'm not a paramedic, I'm a cop, so they are not mine. I gestured to my vest, which says in huge white letters on navy blue, "Police." I looked around, the kid's family was standing at the other side of the ambulance and were basically the only other people there. A few people are in the area, were paying no mind to us at all, and this lady herself was definitely not having a seizure in my non-medically professional medical opinion. Look, the lights are on for a reason. It's for driver safety to alert drivers that there's an ambulance in the middle of the road. You are not having a seizure and neither is anyone else, so if you don't mind, please move along. I hate crowding at scenes. Some of this kid's family was close by and they did not need random strangers causing a commotion and adding more stress to an already stressful situation. "I cannot believe how rude you are," she yells back. "I'm going to complain to your boss." You can definitely tell my boss I did not turn off ambulance lights. My badge number is XXX. If the lights are bothering you so much, you are welcome to leave. You are in a public area free for people to come and go in. Unbelievable. She stomped off after that, which was good. I have not yet received that complaint, probably because I'm not a paramedic. Anyone else get the feeling that Karen is one of those people who would block an ambulance? But anyway, let's continue. "No lady, this is a barber shop, not a gown rental shop." A short story. This happened yesterday as I was about to get my hair cut. I was just sitting down and on my phone waiting for my turn at our local barber shop. And suddenly this lady enters and I look at her. She looks around confused, then she notices me. "Lady, where are the gowns?" Me, "What?" Lady, "The gowns, I want to rent a gown." Me, "Sorry, but this is a barber shop." I waved my hand around so she could see the barbers and customers. They were staring at her. Lady, "But there was a store here where you can rent gowns." Me, "Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I just want a haircut." Lady, "How long have you been having your haircut in this place?" Me, "A few years now." Lady, "So you should know where the gowns are." Me, "Lady, this is a barber shop. Do you see any gowns here?" Lady leaves flustered and muttering something to herself. Everyone at the barbershop looks at each other like, what just happened? Everyone then got back to doing their own thing and I got my haircut. If you have watched until here, please don't forget to post some stars in the comments to make me happy. And to show that you are a loyal subscriber. Thanks for all the support, by the way. No, my husband wearing a winter coat and carrying our 6-month-old baby is not working here, lady. My husband is a peaceful giant. He's 6 feet 5 and can look quite imposing, even though he really is a teddy bear. Never stressed or aggressive, never overreacting or raising his voice. Just a peaceful giant. So here we are at the grocery shop with our 6-month-old baby shopping for food and whatnot. It's winter in Canada, so you know, cold, and we are both wearing our coats. The kid is fuzzy and nothing really calms him except when we carry him in our arms. It's my turn and my husband is going back and forth, gathering what we need and bringing the items to our cart when the banshee from hell, BFH from now on, got in his face. Figure of speech, she was like 5 feet 2 and started yelling at him. BFH:
"Are you done? You've been helping her forever and I need help now."
Husband, with his smooth, everything is good kind of tone: "I'm so sorry, we are Canadians, but I'm afraid I do not work here." BFH:
"BS, I just saw you help her shopping. Now you help me and you do not talk back to me."
Husband: "But..." BFH:
"Stop, don't talk to me unless it is to thank me. Are we clear?"
My husband sees me boiling and about to interfere, but makes a sign that says he's going to deal with it. He then calmly looks at her with a smile. BFH, smuggling:
"Good, now help me get the last item."
Item I don't remember, probably some king of condiment.
"On this high shelf. Why in hell you people always put the stuff I need so high is beyond me. Now chop chop."
My husband grabs the item, but instead of giving it to her, he keeps it just a tiny bit out of her reach. He looks at it and then at me. Husband, grinning: "Honey, do we need condiment?" Me, catching on: "Well, yes, as a matter of fact, yes we do." Lady:
"What? How dare you give her my stuff? It's my stuff, give it to me."
Super slowly, my husband gets closer to the lady. He's so imposing that she calms down immediately. With the biggest of smile and the most polite voice ever, he says to her: "Husband, again, I do not work here, but thank you for showing me condiment. We were about to forget it." And with that, he puts the item in our cart and grabs the baby, and together we left. In the background, the lady howling some profanities. All 3 of us smiling. I love my husband. And then someone in the comments had a genius idea. Next time, can he please hold it over her head and say, "Jump for it." But yeah, those damn Canadians beating Karens with kindness and by being polite. I will stomp on your coat. First time poster, I have a few experiences with these kind of stuff, and I want to tell you guys a story that happened to me recently. A bit of backstory. The university I work in has a weird layout. Since they have a hotel hospitality faculty, they merged the building together with a local hotel. The university is from the 3rd to the 5th floor, while the hotel is located under it. The university requires me to use a long-sleeved shirt, and it looks like the hotel employee's outfit, minus the vest with their logo on it. So 3 days ago, I went down to the hotel lobby and booked an online taxi. I waited by the glass door to make sure I did not miss the car when it arrived. Here is where the annoying group of tourists came into the story along with their scumbag tour guide. Let's call her SB. A van arrived and dropped off all of them right in the entrance. SB gathered them together and explained some stuff in Chinese. Being Chinese myself, I understand a bit of what she said, but I did not pay attention to it. SB then turned and stood in front of the glass door, expecting me to open it for her. I did not really pay attention to her and looked down on my phone to check where my driver is at. She then impatiently opened the door herself, and then she slapped my phone out of my hand. I was surprised and confused. SB then started to complain. SB:
"Do you work properly, you dumb boy?"
Me: "What the F, lady? I don't work here." Pick up my phone. "I can direct you to an employee if you want to." SB:
"Keep telling lies and I will tell your boss."
She then proceeded to shove her coat into my arm and signaled the tourists to enter the lobby. I was mad, real mad, so I did the only thing that crossed my mind. I tapped her on the shoulder, and when she turned to look at me, I threw her coat down to the floor and wiped my feet on it. I also spat on it once. I was that angry. She shrieked and shouted for the security guard. When the guard came, she screamed at him that I ruined her coat and she wanted to go meet the manager. The dude looked at me and laughed. He and I knew each other since I often chat with him while waiting for my online taxi. Dude, I cannot do that, ma'am. He doesn't work here. SB,
What? He told me he works here.
me, Karen, I literally just told you I don't work here. Why don't you just apologize? By this time, my online taxi has arrived and the driver was calling me. So I walked away towards my car. I opened the door, turned back to look at SB and shouted in Chinese, "Use your brain next time." I proceed to board my taxi and smile as I see her jaw dropped and the tourists uncomfortably look between the car and her. Moral of the story, don't be an a-hole and expect people to meekly listen to you. Did you guys ever have any experiences with Chinese tour guides? I gotta say, here in my city in Germany, we have a lot of Chinese tourists and for the most part they only travel in groups. But anyway, let's continue. Ski moms are worse than soccer moms. I am at a very large warehouse of a ski shop getting my boots fitted. This involves some measuring and work to stretch and shape the boot to your foot, so it takes about 30 to 40 minutes. I had been measured and was roaming around the giant racks of gear, waiting and looking at all the shiny, expensive stuff I did not need. I'm snapping a friend, so I stop and look down. When I look back up, an older, maybe 50, PTA all-star of a woman is directly in my path, complete with a local middle school track team t-shirt. She asks,
I cannot find the right helmet. My son needs one.
I'm a male with long hair. I'm wearing a bucket hat with a wheat leaf pin and a ski brand t-shirt. I get how there might be some confusion and she was not rude at all. I'm sorry, I don't actually work here. PTA,
Really? I knew it.
me, now feeling awkward. Oh, PTA,
Did you were too busy playing on that phone to help me. Now you are lying to a regular customer just to avoid your responsibility.
me,
Forget it. I'm finding your manager.
no, really, I don't work here. While a bit annoyed, I still just wanted the situation to be over and save both of us and the store the trouble.
You're wearing a ski brand shirt. They only give those to employees.
Not true.
Where are the XL helmets?
I get a little snarky. Nah, I'm just chillin'. Good luck finding them. Awkwardly get my phone back out and try to act cool. She paces around, literally huffing, composing her next thought.
I've bought him a board, jacket, pants, everything here. More than you make in a month. And you treat me like this and lie to me. It's up to your manager if you keep this job, but I'm telling him I'm not coming back if you do.
PTA leaves towards the front checkout area. I decide to seek haven back in the boot fitting area across the store. I sit down in a comfy waiting chair, find out 15 more minutes until my boots are done, and hope it's all over. I'm near a gruff older man doing ski repair, so I figure I might be safe. Nope.
There he is, sitting on his butt instead of helping me. Why did you even hire someone so useless?
She had dragged a manager from the front around until she found me. He doesn't work here, he's a customer. Sorry about that, the manager says sheepishly.
He could have found you and fixed this whole mess. I want him removed.
The manager says nothing and looks like a deer in the headlights. Then asked if I would apologize to her, since that is what PTA told him she wanted when she came to him about the
lazy rude guy refusing to help her.
I reply, no thanks, I'm good. I don't owe her anything. I'm a semi-regular customer too, and I know my boots on their own are probably worth more than her son's starter board and jacket and whatever else she bought. I'm pissed enough now, I'm down to roll the dice. Service guy knows this too, yanks the manager aside and whispers something. Meek manager asks her to come with him to the back office to sort it out. She glares, but probably hopes she's about to help file some report on me, and finally they are gone. Turns out service guy is actually one of the owners and knows her for causing trouble but buying something every time she's there to ingratiate herself. After this, he will ask her not to come back since harassing customers is a new level. Get my boots back, don't see PTA again, and end up getting some free swag for putting up with her. I think I mentioned this before, especially here in Germany. I have actually never come across a single one of these Karens who would mistake me for an employee, and there's exactly one reason for that. Customer service in Germany is horrible, and pretty much 90% of the stores you go to, especially the cheaper ones, don't have any employees that really walk around the store. So in the end, customer service hell Germany does have the benefit of not having that many Karens. We cannot refund you money we did not take XXL. This may be a stretch for this subreddit, but here it goes. I was working in an insurance call center at 9 PM for a smaller insurance company that I will call Spooky. Angry customer AC and M for me. M: thank you for calling Spooky Insurance, customer care. How may I help you? AC:
You need to put my money back right now. I told you all you could not have it and you took it anyway.
Me: I would be happy to take a look into that. May I have your policy number? Or would you like me to look it up by your name? Side note, it is common for us to get calls about not stopping a draft and withdrawing funds when we are not supposed to. Damn human error. AC:
I don't have that memorized. Shouldn't you know my policy number? Is that not your job?
Me: I would be happy to look it up for you. What is your name and zip code? Look up old policy from 10 years ago. Verify no other policies for her. Well, you have not had insurance with Spooky Insurance for 10 years, so we did not take any money out of your account. AC:
Yes, you did, and you're gonna put it back in right now.
Me: This is Spooky Insurance Company. I think you have us confused with someone else. AC:
I know who I called. You took my money. I want it back.
Me: Okay, why don't you send me a screenshot of your bank statement? AC:
Okay, but then you're putting that money back. You had no right to take my money.
Me: Open up screenshot. How much was the charge for? AC:
You should know. You took the money. Idiots taking 200 out of my account without permission.
Me: Finding the charge. Okay, so you see where it says other large insurance company. AC:
Yes.
M: Well, we are Spooky Insurance Company. AC:
So?
Me: I don't work for other large insurance company, so I cannot put it back. AC:
You're lying. You had no right to take that money, so put it back.
Me: If you want your money back, you have to call other large insurance company. AC:
No, I want you to give me back my money.
Me: I cannot because I don't work for them, so you should call them. Goodbye. I would think that the name of the other insurance company on her bank statement would have given her a better idea of who to call. And as someone in the comments said, nowadays a lot of people don't read. When they see a keyword or something that they don't like, then they become annoyed and their brain just shuts off. And I mean, in the case of Karen, there's not really much brain to begin with. Alright guys, that's all the I Don't Work Here Lady content I have for you today. The last story we are gonna read is from our own subreddit r/ripe stories, and it's a classic church drama story. So if you're not interested in that, then please turn off the video now. But either way, thank you very much for watching so far. On a side note, church drama is a bit of a speciality on my channel, and a lot of my old subscribers appreciate it, so that's why I read it. The story was posted by Twillick1. I just wanted to pray, but because of my sister, wound up getting told I was going to hell. This happened back in the late 80s when I was still a teenager. I lived in a rural community, and besides high school, there was not really a whole lot to do. So I joined the choir class at school. I was at best an average singer, but I enjoyed the at-home and away concerts, and it helped to make country life less boring for me. The local church my family and I attended was small and had seating for about 100 people. But most Sundays there were fewer than 30 people. And that included the minister, organist and choir. Some days there were only 2 in the choir, and one day only 1 showed up for the service. So one day after another Sunday church service that was long on organ music but short on choir voices, my mom told the minister that I sang in the school choir and that my younger sister had a lovely voice, which she does, and that we would be happy to join the choir. My sister and I looked at each other with, "She did it again," frustration on our faces, but did not say anything because the minister was already thanking my mother and then us for being so kind. My mother had a really bad habit of volunteering me and my younger sister for things that we either had absolutely no interest in doing or did not know how to do. Like babysitting, but that's a story for another time. My mom was sly and always volunteered us for things in front of the people who she was offering the help to. That way, we could not refuse without looking like ungrateful, spoiled brats. So once a week, my sister and I went to choir practice, and every Sunday we would put on our choir robes and take our places in the choir section. The choir section is located between the altar where the minister stood and the pews where the congregation sat. So basically, it's right in the middle of the church, just off to one side of the aisle. Trust me, this is important information for later. I was actually beginning to enjoy being a choir member after a while. The church choir even went to another province to take part in a choir mashup, which means 20 small church choirs became one large choir where we got to sing for an audience of almost 5,000 people. It was amazing, but alas, the good times did not last. On to the incident that apparently ensured my soul was bound to the fires of hell for all eternity. The caster's sister, sis, M for minister, CM congregation members, D for dad, and me for the damned. It was just another typical Sunday service. There were 5 in the choir, sister and myself included. There were maybe 40 CM in the pews, most elderly because, like a lot of churches across my country, Canada, young adults just don't seem to go to church anymore. We were about halfway through the service when M says, "We will now bow our heads and pray silently for a moment." And just the same as every Sunday, we all bowed our heads and there's complete silence. So I am praying, cannot quite remember what I was praying about anymore, but the main thing is I was praying silently. Next thing I feel, sister's elbow against my arm, trying to get my attention. As I mentioned before, a lot of the CM were elderly and it was not uncommon to see one having a late morning snooze in one of the pews. I was praying and did not want to be bothered, so I shrugged off her elbow. A few seconds later, sis is at it again. It's a back and forth battle for about 30 seconds between sister elbowing me trying to get my attention and me trying to push her elbow away so I could resume praying. By this time, I'm going from super annoyed to seriously pissed. Not even realizing that I was going to do what I did next because I was so angry at being pestered, I turned to sister and yelled, "F off, I'm trying to pray." Now remember me mentioning where the choir section is situated in the church? Yeah, smack dab in the middle, M on one side, CM on the other. Everyone was staring at me with utter shock on their face. I've heard the phrase, "a deafening silence," before, but until that moment I never really truly understood it. But at that very moment of shocked silence, the quiet did indeed become deafening. I was so embarrassed. M then decided that it was prudent to continue with the rest of the service just to keep things from becoming more awkward than they already were. My sister was trying her best not to laugh for the rest of the service. She was the only one who thought it was funny though. I was mortified. The CM were completely shocked and my D had an actual thundercloud over his head. Whenever a service ended, M always stood by the exit door to say goodbye to each church member, so I had no choice but to do my walk of shame. M takes my hand and says, deadpan, "Try and be a little quieter in church next time." I cannot even look at him and mumble, "Yes, minister, sorry." I head outside and make a beeline for the family car, and it's like I'm walking a gauntlet of very stern, judgmental parishioners, everyone staring daggers at me. Definitely no friendly goodbyes for me this time. I finally make it to the car and duck down inside, waiting for the rest of the family to arrive so I could get the hell out of there. My brother and sister, who is still laughing by the way, hop in the back seat with me while mom gets in the front passenger side. Mom is completely silent and won't even look at me. It takes a few more moments before my dad gets in the driver's seat. He does not say anything until we start driving away from the church. Then he lets loose with, "Dad,
You embarrassed your mother and me today. You and your sister are always doing bad things."
My dad never liked his youngest daughter for some reason and always treated her worse than me or my brother.
You're disgusting, swearing in church. I cannot wait until the second coming of Christ, because that means you will burn in hell for the rest of eternity.
Since Dad was always wishing for the rapture and that basically everyone but himself was going to hell, I was not too worried about my soul. What I was worried about though was going back to the church/choir. And I did not go back for the longest time, but eventually did because the minister came to visit me and said he would like to see me return to church and choir if I wanted to. He was a good minister and many in the congregation considered him boring, but I always liked him. He was always calm and he was never a fire and brimstone kind of preacher. He only lasted a few years before the old fogies eventually drove him out. I did not go much to church after that. A lot of years have passed since that day and it is still the most embarrassing moment of my life. To this day, if either my brother or sister see that I'm getting irritated about something, they will yell at me, "F off, I'm trying to pray." Wow, thank you very much for posting. That was one of the best church drama stories I've ever seen. And if anyone is still listening, if I could, I would give you a cookie, because you guys are truly the most precious kind of subscribers I have. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and I see you again tomorrow.